And I've been saying lately that this experience that Rudy called class, and so we call it class, this experience that we share is, for me, the most sacred experience I have ever had over and over and over again. And I've told you, and most of you know me, you know it's true, I have practiced in Japan, in Korea, and China, and Indonesia. I have practiced with Sufis and shamans. I have practiced in India and Nepal and Tibet. I have practiced in Europe, practiced everywhere in America. I don't know how I feel about that. And of all the teachers that I've studied with, and all the experiences that I've had, and all the times in deep practice that I have, done in many different important tantric sites, over and over and over again, this experience that we share now, for me, is the most profound. Because, it is a moment when we at least make the effort, however much you have prepared or however much you succeed, we at least make the effort to release our tensions, to dissolve our shell, to find within ourselves the flow of our breath from the inhalation and the exhalation all the way to the depth of the breath of life, which is expressing itself within the fluctuation of the cerebral spinal fluid. And in dissolving that shell and finding that flow within us, motion becomes flow. Flow expresses life in its ultimate potential. On the physical level, that's, health and range of motion. In the mental and emotional dimension, it's wellness. And in the spiritual dimension, it is profound joy. I know most of you have probably never done this, but I almost every day, and I've built this up, I sit and practice until all of my insides melt into a flow of beauty and joy. Doesn't take me a long time anymore. To experience a dimension of love within myself that completely transcends any interpersonal experience I have ever had, ever. And that's available to me anytime I want to sit down and connect to it. And when I sit with you, I enter that state and become what I hope is for you a bridge. That's sort of what a teacher is, or a guru is a bridge. Just try not to have too much mud on your shoes, okay? I know, it's wishful thinking on my part. Somebody was asking me the other day, saying, I was in Indiana. Somebody said something, guru. And I said, guru in Sanskrit is the actual translation, the real meaning of the word out of Sanskrit of guru is plumber. Guru means plumber. And in becoming a bridge between the ordinary state of closedness that regular people live in, and the experience of profound beauty that is ever present and available from within us, there is a lot of shit that has to go someplace. Flow expresses health and wellness and profound abundance. And it's available from within you. In this moment we gather to open ourselves and connect in the experience of that flow internally and externally in order to access that beauty and strengthen ourselves that we can go forward from this moment, holding that state day by day by day by day by day, therefore transforming ourselves and transforming our lives. They say, a lot, this was in my immaturity, love conquers all. That's nice. It's also bullshit. The mind is a threat recognition mechanism. And so everyone, is in a way wired to be closed. And what really conquers all is fear. Rather than living in the fear and finding ourselves increasingly constrained in our movement and in the flow, and therefore finding, because of the absence of flow in our physical body, a depreciation of our health and range of motion, which then becomes a depreciation of our wellness and our intellectual and emotional acuity, etc. Let's recognize the shell that the fear creates. And with our breath and the power of our intention, let's dissolve that fear and continually find, our connection to our own heart and to each other that will allow the great abundance, the unimaginable possibility that lives in the core of your heart to come alive, to rise up from within you and express itself as a profoundly beautiful life and a profoundly bright light in a world that is increasingly not that. This isn't easy. It's not easy. In fact, probably it's harder now than it's ever been. Unless, of course, you were living in front of the wave of the Mongol hordes coming out of China in the 12th century, or you were living in Berlin in 1944 and 45. But it's pretty bad now. But whatever it is, this is the life the goddess has put in front of us to live. This is the body that she gave us. This is the experience that we have been presented with. And my own opinion is that every life and every experience has been presented as the perfect opportunity for each of us to grow from. And in growing, to ever increasingly release tensions, experience the flow of our creative energy, discover the amazing beauty that dwells within us, and to cultivate and express that beauty as a life. I've never seen any experience in my life any place, and trust me, I've looked. I spent 40 years going to India 4 times a year looking for something like this. I never found it. In my experience, this contact, alignment, and flow that we share is the most powerful support to the whole process of self-cultivation, of growing that beauty, of dissolving our tensions and discovering real love that I've ever seen. So don't take this opportunity for granted. This isn't a normal thing. Go to, how many there, are there 40,000 yoga studios in Portland? Close. Okay, 37,500. Go to all of them. If you really understand how important, how urgent it is in this life to grow, then you'll be back. And I will be so pleased to see you.